Hello and welcome to Yoga at Midday. I'm Tawana Wright, Associate State Director of Community Outreach, and we have Becca Impala, our yoga teacher. Becca, how are you?
Doing well, ready for yoga today. I hope you guys are too.
Yes. We've been waiting on this. We need a stretch break. You know, it's a Monday.
It's Monday.
Lots of rain over the weekend and lots of opportunities to rest. I guess now we need to stretch it out. So what do you have on tap for us today?
Well, we're going to be similar to last time, but I know not everybody maybe did it with us last time. We're going to start out with, kind of warming up the whole body, getting all the joints moving and loose, and do some focusing breath work that kind of focuses our energy and gets us gathered, gets us collected. We'll do a little bit of movement standing to challenge a few things like balance and strength, and then we'll definitely calm it down and do some relaxation and some calming breath work at the end. And I would encourage people, if you pick up a little bit of these breath techniques or even just one or two little stretches or movements that you feel good with, do them anytime throughout the day that you need a little break.
Well, that sounds good. Well, folks, grab your chairs and remember that before you start any type of exercise routine, you need to follow up your physician and make sure that it's safe for you to take part in activities. We're going to go live to Becca for yoga.
All right, great. So yes, hopefully you have a chair, your kitchen, your dining room chair usually works great. Something without arms is preferable, but really anything that's a pretty sturdy, upright, firm chair will work pretty well. Now, one thing that you may want to do, if you happen to be on the short side and your legs don't quite hit the ground firmly, or maybe your chair's kind of tall, then putting something underneath your feet might be nice, just to make sure your feet are connected to the ground. Something like a folded towel or blanket can work really well, because you want your feet on the ground, you want your seat in the chair, and your spine up nice and tall as we get started. All right, so like Tawana already said, I want you to work with your own body and your own needs. Anything that I'm going to teach you to do today, you can do it on a spectrum. You can do it a small movement, you can do it a big movement. So make it adapted to your needs, your body, and anything that doesn't feel quite right, simply don't do it, okay? So we're going to start by sitting tall, dropping those hands into the thighs, onto the lap. We're going to start with our 3 clearing breaths, and this is just a good way to shift our energy, shift our breath rhythm, okay? So we'll take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh out of the mouth. Allow a little sound to come out. Good, let's do that one more time. Clearing breath in. Sigh it out. All right, now stay tall through the spine and let's roll the head gently. So forward head rolls from shoulder to shoulder. I'm going to recommend, since I don't know each and every one of you, can't see what you're doing, I don't want you to roll your head back behind you. It's safer to do it just here to the front, okay? So just nice, easy roll side to side, loosen up that neck. All right, we're going to move through the body, starting with the shoulders next. We're going to just loosen up all the major joints. So we roll those shoulders up, back, and down. This is a good one to breathe with. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale, back and down. One more time. Good. Now let's spread the fingers and drop the arms down to the sides, the palms forward. Go ahead and make a fist and bend the elbows. And then open up those fingers and stretch the arms down and maybe even a little bit back. And then bend the elbows, make those hands into a fist. Inhale as you stretch the arms down. Exhale as you bring them back up. 2 more. Good, now let's keep those hands right here and open up the fingers and circle. Circle the wrists, go the other direction. Good. And then let's reach the whole arm up with a big stretch towards the ceiling, and exhale to the sides and down. Inhale up, exhale down. 2 more times. Might still be like that clearing breath. If you want to exhale out of the mouth, go for it. Good. Now we'll work through the spine a little bit more, working with the upper back first. Inhale and pull the elbows, the shoulder blades back. And exhale, push forward. So on the inhale, that upper back arches, you squeeze back and down with the shoulder blades. Exhale, upper back gets a little rounded. 3 more. Breath in, breath out. Notice I'm moving my chin, my head up and down. So you can add that movement if you would like. Last one. Good, now bring those hands down to the knees rather. Inhale, we're gonna try to work with this low back, waist area. So bring the low belly forward. And then exhale, gently round it back. Inhale, pull the belly forward. So you're on the fronts, the tops of your sitting bones. Exhale, round it back to the backs of your sit bones, your buttocks. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. So this is a good example. If your low back is tight or you got some stuff going on, maybe you're making this movement a little smaller or skipping it altogether. All right, now we're going to work with the legs, the hips, knees, and ankles to loosen up the rest of the body. So go ahead and pick up one foot and move it out to the side. Pick it up and bring it back. Pick up the other leg, move it out to the side. Pick it up, bring it back. Now try to stay sitting up tall as you do this movement with the legs, okay? Which means don't roll back or collapse your spine. If you want to hold on to your chair, sometimes that'll help you sit up tall. Pick up that leg out to the side. We're loosening up these hip joints with this movement. Good, let's do one more, each side. Good. And then let's finish with the knees and the ankles. So one leg straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. How's those knee joints feeling? We had that low pressure over the weekend moving through with Hurricane Delta, and it's not a wives' tale. Sometimes our joints get a little achy when it storms. It's because of that lower atmospheric pressure. So be gentle if your knee is a little sore. This movement will hopefully help. Hold the same leg out and give me a little point and flex of the ankle. And then a few circles. And then a nice big spread of those toes. If you got shoes on, just do the best you can inside your shoes. And take that leg down. Now just pause a moment. You probably noticed that leg you were just working feels a little warm, a little muscle fatigue. So just notice that effect of moving and exercising your body. Other leg, and then we'll have warmed up the whole body. So straighten and bend. Working through that knee. You can make this movement smaller if needed. Notice that this knee is different than the first one that you did. We've all got our asymmetries. Yoga is a mindful practice, so we train our brain to pay closer attention, and noticing things like differences in our body is a good thing to practice. Now let's point and flex that ankle. Make some circles. And then a nice spread of those toes. And then release that down. Again, notice that that leg might feel a little tired, a little warm. All right, so we've warmed everything up. We moved everything a little bit. We're going to do another breathing exercise. This one is to focus our energy, to sort of energize ourselves towards specific tasks. So we're going to take an inhale breath and sweep the arms out around us. And then as you exhale, drop the hands right in front of the body, like you're gathering all that energy up and kind of pushing it all together right in front of the belly. Inhale, gather it all up. Exhale. See if you can pull your abdominal muscles in a little bit as you press these arms down. You can also make a slight closure of the throat so that there's a little whispery sound to the exhale. It's as if you're exhaling the sound ha. You can do that with the mouth open or with the mouth closed. Let's do 5 more. Inhale. We're building up a little bit of energy, but in a nice focused way. Remember that ha sound might be internal, or you might have that mouth open. 2 more. Last one. I want you to keep those hands just in front of the abdomen. Allow yourself a full breath in. Exhale, draw the belly, the navel a little bit in, a little squeeze. Full breath into the belly, let it move out towards your hands. Exhale, squeeze in, not with your hands, but just with the abdominal muscles. One more time, belly breathing. All right, good. Let's do a few more stretches. I'm going to move this thing that I had underneath my feet out of the way for now. Don't really need it. In fact, I'm going to scoot forward, and you might want to as well, so that you're a little more towards the front of the chair. And we're going to start with a little bit of spinal twisting. Hands to the heart. I'm going to push the hands together. Make a little tension, a little engagement in the arms so that we energize the spine and sit up tall. Inhale here. Exhale and turn to one side. Inhale, come back to center. Sit up tall. Exhale, turn in the other direction. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn. See if you notice the work of your muscles across the belly, the ribs. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Good. Now this next time we're going to stay. So inhale, exhale, turn, and then we're going to use the arms to help. So drop one hand across to the opposite knee. This should be the forward arm. The other arm can maybe rest on the back of your chair, or feel free to drop it down near your hip, or even work it back around towards the opposite hip for a little more twist. Now push into the feet. Push this knee into your hand. Push your hand into your knee. This is going to help you get your chest up so that you can turn. If you want to take your head and look over that back shoulder, go as far as feels comfortable. Now let's stay for 2 more breaths. Now unwind it, come back to center and pause a moment. I want you to just notice what you feel, sort of a band around the body where the muscles were active or where the stretch was happening. And then hands to the heart. Push the hands together so you sit up tall. And then exhale, turn the other way. And again, you're going to use the arms to help. Front hand comes across to the opposite knee. Push that knee into the hand into the knee. Find a place for this back arm to rest that's comfortable. Sit tall. Exhale, maybe twist a little further. You can turn that head on around if you'd like. One more breath. Back around to the front. Again, take a moment to notice. Now let's bring the hands back. See if you can hold on to your chair. We all got different chairs. So if there's anything on the back of the chair seat that you can hold on to, whether it's up on the back part, down on the seat part, or even somewhere on the leg, see if there's something you can grab a hold of that's comfortable, and then roll your shoulders back and down and start to lift up through your chest. This is a little bit of a back bend here. And then you can lift the chin if you're comfortable. I want to squeeze those shoulder blades towards the middle and down the back. Push into the feet. Take one more breath here. And then release those arms. Take them out, take them forward, and wrap them around. Give yourself a hug. All right, so this is sort of the opposite motion of what we just did. Drop that chin down a little bit and try to breathe into that upper back between those shoulder blades. Now lift your head, take notice. Which arm is on top for you? Is it your right or your left? So just take a mental note and then sweep those arms back. Take a hold of the chair again if you can. If there's nothing to hold on to, reach back. Hold on to an imaginary structure. And again, lift the chest, lift the chin. Breathe into that spine. And then release, spread the arms out. You're going to try to take the other arm on top. Do you remember which one was on top last time? Take the other arm on top. Give yourself that hug again. Round into that upper back. Drop your chin. And then release and shake it out. Roll the shoulders. All right, we're going to stand up for a little bit. Okay, so you might want to have your chair handy to hold on to, and we're going to use it for a few things as well. So just stand where you can still see, but that you can hold on to your chair to help as needed for balance. And we're going to start with a balance pose. So stand on one leg to start with and bring that other foot out and circle that ankle. Now, if you want to let go and work on your balance right away, you can do that. You can also hold on. Go the other direction with that foot. Good. And then see if you can lift that knee up. Maybe you're holding on now, maybe not. Take that knee out to the side and then put the foot right there on the inside of either your calf or your ankle or even all the way down close to the ground. This is tree pose, and we can do it from the foot touching the floor all the way up to maybe the foot up above the knee for some folks, okay? So we push the foot and the leg together. If you need to keep holding on, you keep holding on. If you can bring the hands up to the heart, bring one or both. Now squeeze your hips in and try to stand tall, be a tall tree. Focusing your eyes on one spot helps with any balance poses. And then you can try taking your arms, your branches, spreading them out wide. Always got that chair you can hold on to if needed. One more breath here. And then let's drop the arms and put that foot back down on the ground. Just shake it out. All right. Maybe stay where you are, but if you want to turn your chair around or turn yourself around to get on the other side, you can. We'll switch legs. So stand on one leg, the other leg, and circle the foot and ankle. So remember, you can be working on your balance at any point if you want to let go. It's also fine to keep holding on. Good. Now we'll bring that knee up and take the knee out to the side as far as you're comfortably able to go, and find where you want to put that foot. Is it down close to the ankle? Is it touching the floor? Is it up close to the knee? Okay. And then we push everything into the middle. Okay. Squeeze in with the hips, lift up with the belly. And see if you're able to bring the hands to the heart. Focus that gaze, stare at one spot. Maybe spread those branches out. It's okay if you fall down out of a tree. Doesn't mean you did it wrong. In fact, it means you're doing it right. You're challenging yourself just right. All right. and bring it on down and shake it out. All right, let's use the back of the chair again to hold on to initially, maybe to hold on the whole time. All right, this is a good stretch for the hips, and some people really feel it in their calf, okay? So take one leg back, other leg is close to the chair, and that front leg bends. Now push this back thigh back and push down into that back heel. All right, and then right here, lift up from that low belly, and this is going to help to open up and stretch the front of the hips. So I'm trying to lift my belly up, lift my chest, and then possibly lift the arms. Fine to lift one arm if you need to keep one hand on the chair. All right. If you're feeling this a little bit in your low back and it's not so comfortable, lean a little more forward or pull that belly up a little bit more. All right, and then take that hand down. Now, before we do the other side, we're going to take both feet back. And just extend with the hands on the top of the chair. Extend back as far as you're comfortably able to go, reaching back into the hips. Now, notice my knees are staying a little bit bent. It's okay to keep bent knees. Some of you may be able to straighten your knees. All right, now let's step the other leg towards the chair. So just make sure you switch sides now, okay? So that back leg pushes back, down into the heel. Front knee is bent. Then lift up with the belly. This will tuck your tail down a little bit, which is what we want to open up the front of the hip. And then one or both arms can reach up. We call this warrior pose. Warrior, like a strong fighting warrior. So it's got a lot of energy. We want to feel strength in our legs, in our torso, our spine, and in our arms. One more breath in. And then we'll bring those hands back to the top of the chair. Step it back with both legs. And extend out. If your shoulders are tight, you may not get quite down as low. So it's okay if you don't go quite as far. If your shoulders feel fine, stretching a little further, you might be going to parallel with the ground. All right, and then walk it back in. Stand up tall. Now, for this next one, I love it if you can use the seat of the chair. So, turn that chair around. If you've got a chair that happens to be on wheels, be careful. If your chair is going to slide, again, be careful. We won't be pushing on the chair. We'll just step back and put our hands down in the seat of the chair. And this gives us a nice horizontal position for the spine so that we can do a little bit of cat. This is rounded up. And then what we call in yoga, cow. So the opposite shape of the cat. Lift up the tailbone, lift up the chest. So we'll breathe with this. Exhale and go rounded back. Inhale. It's helpful to bend your knees here as you go chest up, tail up. Exhale, round it. Inhale. If your wrists are not happy, you can try either a fist on your chair or maybe hold the edges of your chair, and that might feel a little bit better. 3 more. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, now we're going to stay a little more towards the flat or the cow shape, so we can do a little twisting. Put one hand in the seat of the chair and take the other hand to the hip and turn the chest and the belly in that direction. Notice that my knees, one of them bent a little bit while the side that I turned into got straight. So that's just sort of a natural way your body will probably want to go. So you can let it do that. All right, and then we'll come back to the center and go the other way. Push into the chair, turn, bring that hand to the hip. One knee bent, the other knee straight. And let's do that again. We'll do it a little bit faster this time. Inhale. Now that hand could be on the hip or stretch it up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more each direction. All right, and then come on up to standing. All right, we're going to finish with a few more things seated in our chair, so you can come back to your chair. So what we've just done has been great for your body in terms of taking a break from sitting. Okay, we stretched out all the major joints, and we really affected the hips, the back, and the upper back in ways that are good counters to all that sitting that you might be doing if you're at work today, or if you just happen to be sitting around a good bit. All right, so let's stretch out the hips and then settle it down with a little relaxation. All right, so we're going to cross one ankle to the opposite knee. Now, this might be difficult for some hips. If so, we can do a little bit straighter leg, cross, and that leg will be lower. It might be easier. Another option, if it's not possible to get that foot up there, is to cross it to the floor, okay? But not all the way up on the knee, okay? And you're still getting some opening for the hip, okay? So wherever you need to be, those are some choices. Sit tall, maybe reach back. If you had that nice place to hold on the back of your chair, you can lean forward. One more breath here. And then we'll bring it up. I'll switch sides. So remember your choices. Cross all the way up. Lower this leg that you're crossing to by making that leg a little straighter. Or take that cross to the ground and turn the leg out. Okay? Sit up tall. Maybe you lean into it. You may not need to lean much if it's already a fairly big stretch. Okay, we're going to take about 3 more breaths here. All right, and then release that. All right, and then sitting again with those feet on the ground, hands on your thighs. If you're able to, you want to scoot back and use the back of the chair for some support on your spine, you can. Go ahead and take one hand and place it up on the chest, the heart. The other hand can just rest either on the lower belly or it can stay in your lap. We're going to see if we can just slow down our breathing. And the primary part that I want you to focus on is your exhale. So just see if your exhale can go slower, longer. Can you pull in this belly a little bit at the end and make it more complete? Inhale, try to have that be slow also. Exhale, slow and steady. Soften your face. Relax your shoulders. Keep following your breath. Closing the eyes as I'm doing might help your focus to turn inward. It's not required, however. And then if you've gotten that exhale to feel a little slower, feel a little longer, and start to see if you can pause. Just a short duration, not a contest. Pause after the exhale before you inhale again. It's almost like we're just finding the pause that's naturally there. We're just holding it just a beat longer, just lingering there a moment. We'll do this for 3 more rounds. Seeking slowness. Now slowly bring those hands together. Use this position of the hands as an expression of gratitude, of thankfulness. So I thank you for joining me. You can send some thanks to AARP and even just to yourself for making the time to do yoga at midday with us. Thanks so much. Join me next Monday.
Thanks, Becca, for another great class. We had one question come in that I wanted to address before we leave for the day.
Sure.
And the question was, how often should they replicate these exercises that we're doing at Yoga at Midday?
So you can do these really a couple times a day, every day. So most of what we're doing in this practice is pretty gentle. It's not a real taxing as far as strength training or that sort of thing. So the breath, the gentle movements like twisting, rolling the shoulders, moving the head, loosening the joints. You could do those a couple times throughout the day. If you're, stuck at a computer and you need something to loosen up, it's fine to do them every day and to even do them a couple times during the day.
Okay. Thank you, Becca. Well, folks, we'll see you next week on Yoga at Midday. Have a great week. Stay safe.